At dinner, my mom said, "You should thank your stepdad for raising you after your father ran off." So I asked my stepdad if he wanted to explain why he was listed as suspect number 2 on my dad's missing persons report. The fork in my stepdad's hand clattered against his plate. My mom's face went white. "What are you talking about?" she whispered. I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table, screen facing up. The police report was crystal clear, filed 18 years ago, 3 months after my dad supposedly abandoned us. Right there in the suspect list, Donovan Pierce, neighbor, current status, person of interest. My stepdad, Donovan, had moved in 6 months after dad disappeared. I was only 4 then, too young to remember much. But I'd always wondered why we never reported him missing, never filed for child support, never tried to track him down. Mom's explanation was always the same. He didn't want us anymore. Last week, I'd been applying for a passport and needed my birth certificate. While searching through Mom's filing cabinet, I found a folder labeled Insurance, 1997. Inside was a newspaper clipping about my father's disappearance and a copy of the police report Mom had apparently requested years ago. That was investigated and closed, Donovan said carefully, his jaw tight. They cleared me. Did they? I asked. Because it says here the case is still open. Cold, but open. My mom stood up abruptly. "This is inappropriate dinner conversation." "What's inappropriate?" I said, keeping my voice steady despite my racing heart. "Is that you married the man police suspected of making my father disappear." Donovan's expression shifted. Something dangerous flickered across his face before he smoothed it away. "Your father was involved with some bad people. Gambling debts." I tried to help him, but what? He vanished the same week you two had that fight in our driveway? The one Mrs. Reeves next door told me about? Mom's hand flew to her mouth. "You talked to Beverly?" "I've talked to a lot of people. I'd spent the last week calling everyone who still lived on our old street. The stories they told painted a very different picture than the one I'd grown up with. Dad hadn't been perfect, but he'd been trying to keep his family together, trying to keep someone away from Mom, trying to keep Donovan away from Mom. Your father left us with nothing," Mom said, but her voice cracked. "Donovan stepped up when it was convenient," I finished. 3 months is a pretty quick turnaround from suspect to savior, don't you think? Donovan pushed back from the table. "I think this conversation is over." "It's not." I stood too, because I also found Dad's storage unit key in that folder. The one Mom's been paying for all these years. I went there yesterday. The color drained from Donovan's face. There were journals, I continued. Detailed journals about feeling threatened, about someone stalking Mom, about going to the police multiple times, but nothing being done because the guy was a cop's nephew. Donovan had been a cop's nephew, retired now, but connected enough that a missing persons case involving him would have been handled delicately. "And there was a letter," I said quietly, "addressed to me, dated the day before he disappeared. He said if anything happened to him, I should know the truth, that he loved me, that he was trying to protect us both." Mom was crying now, silent tears streaming down her face. "He was going to file a restraining order the next day," I said, "but he never made it to that appointment." Donovan's hand curled into a fist on the table. "Prove it." "I don't have to," I replied. "I called Detective Harrison this morning, the one who just reopened Dad's case last month when new evidence surfaced. Apparently they've been looking for these journals for 18 years. The silence was deafening. "They're coming tomorrow," I said, "to talk to both of you." I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.